considered the most significant middleweight clash of its time. The anticipation and excitement surrounding Triple G vs. Canelo was reminiscent to the legendary Hagler vs. Hearns bout. The fight was contested under auspices of every sanctioning body except the WBO, which was then held by Billy Joe Saunders. At the time, Canelo was a two-division world champion, ranked number 7 on the Rings pound-for-pound list, while Gennady Golovkin, the undefeated middleweight monster, with a record of 37-0 with 33 knockouts, held the number 2 spot. With the lineal title at stake, it was a definitive showdown between the top 2 middleweights, as the clear number 1 and number 2 in the division faced off against each other. During this period, Canelo's style was notably different from what it has evolved into today. Rather than being the pressure counterpuncher he is now known for, Canelo was more of a boxer puncher, counterpuncher. This dynamic made the matchup between Triple G and Canelo particularly intriguing, as Golovkin played the role of the efficient hunter, while Canelo assumed the role of the cunning trapper. Heading into the fight, apart from a catchweight bout against Julio Cesar Chavez, this marked Canelo's first true middleweight contest. Triple G was regarded as the natural middleweight and the heavier puncher. From the opening bell, Canelo's strategy against Triple G revolved around 3 key elements. First, he aimed to be elusive, demonstrating to Triple G that landing a clean shot wouldn't come easy. Second, he sought to create a threat in every exchange with his counterpunching, discouraging Triple G from freely engaging. Lastly, Canelo aimed to earn Triple G's respect with his power, as he was arguably the hardest puncher Triple G had faced in his career. By combining these 3 elements, Canelo intended to deter Triple G and compelled him to be more calculated, rather than simply bulldozing forward and overwhelming him as he done with previous opponents. Facing a defensive wizard like Canelo means that landing single pot shots is a rare occurrence. To even land one punch, you need to carefully set it up before making your exit, as landing 2 consecutive punches is equally challenging. In this context, the jab becomes one of the most crucial punches in a matchup. It serves as the precursor to maneuvering your opponent into positions for openings. However, this is no easy task, as it becomes a contest of establishing jabs. This challenge is heightened when both fighters are skilled counterpunchers, with both Triple G and Canelo poised to counter jabs and acts as a deterrent, preventing each boxer from building the offensive layers, essentially keeping both racers at the starting line. When you have 2 strategic boxers who maintain a balance between offense and defense, landing punches by simply forcing combinations become unlikely. Patterns become easy to read, and if every punch is delivered at the same speed, it becomes easy to time. With the added element of counterpunching, fighters become more strategic and calculated in their approach. In these type of exchanges, you're not aiming at the target, because the moment a punch is thrown, the opponent is already shifted to defense. The defense is dynamic, proactively guarding against every individual punch. The key then is figuring out how to maneuver your opponent into your punches. This happens when you allow the sequence of exchanges to unfold naturally, seeking those brief windows of opportunity. It's akin to a running back at the line of scrimmage, who doesn't just charge through at full speed. Instead, he patiently waits for the blockers to create openings before bursting through. In high-level exchanges, the flow is a seamless blend of offense and defense. Imagine each exchange as a series of moves where one fighter initiates an action and the other responds. Throughout the sequence, each fighter takes turns making the moves until one successfully lands a punch. It's like a continuous, fast-paced game of rock, paper, scissors, played at lightning speed, where critical decisions are made in milliseconds, one after another. Even when a punch lands, the sequence doesn't stop. It continues until one fighter resets. In a close proximity fight, the focus shifts from angles to patterns and balance. When every move triggers another, each boxer becomes a constantly moving target. It's easy to fall out of position if a punch misses, or a fighter over-maneuvers to evade. The fighter with the more stable balance typically prevails, as it's all about who maintains the better position to fire back. The exchanges happen at such high speeds that only when you slow down the footage can you truly appreciate the subtle ways both Triple G and Canelo exploit balance and positioning. Triple G and Canelo 1 stands as one of the most evenly matched fights I've ever seen. Neither fighter clearly dominated, as control shifted back and forth throughout the match. It was a masterful combination of offense and defense, with both fighters employing strategic and thoughtful tactics. The high-level defensive skills were on full display, allowing only a few clean shots to land, which were inevitable in the heat of battle. This fight is truly one of the most strategic middleweight bouts in boxing history.